So I'm going to be kind of a little bit like Joel, as in I'm going to talk about myself. But instead of about my career and stuff, I'm going to talk a little bit about me as when I was a kid, what type of kid I was, and some of the things I've done up to this point in my life. I would like to say that this was me. However, I wasn't really the type of baby who was all that outgoing. I was the type of baby who did this. I would find some reflective surface and make faces at myself in the mirror, something like that. My parents say I was an adorable, chubby little baby. However, when I actually look at my baby pictures and stuff, I see this creepy little chubby thing. One of my most embarrassing pictures I actually didn't put up. Sorry. Well, my mom gave me this green little full-body suit with black stripes on it. She laid me on my side, and I looked like this little watermelon with a baby head. It was it was adorable. At the same time, it was just kind of embarrassing. I was a fussy little baby. I loved eating all types of food, but there were certain things I really didn't like. And I really didn't like taking baths. I hated it. Sometimes I swear the bath was like the scariest place in the world for me. And so whenever my parents were like, bath or want to go have a shower or whatever, I would run the opposite direction. They would chase me around the house and get me into the bath. And they always pull that back at me. So a little bit later on in life, when I was going through school as a kid, I didn't really like writing stuff. I didn't like reading all that much. I was the kid who was really into these comics. Hero. Comics are awesome, and I loved the books that had the pictures in them. But when it came to reading and writing, I didn't really like it. When I got into junior high school, I had to start reading novels required for classes and other such things. But when it came to home, I didn't like reading books at all. My dad tried to get me to read books a few times, and I'm pretty sure he regretted them because those books aren't really all that intact anymore. But it did get me a little bit curious as to what type of books were out there. And so when I got into high school, as a senior, I got a little more creative with books. That's not me, by the way. But I was the type of person who would look at all the different types of books that were around me and see what I could do with them. I still wouldn't read all that much, but it got me started thinking about future options. One point where I was in high school, believe it or not, where I actually wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to walk on the moon, not really take a lawnmower there, but I wanted to go to the moon. I wanted to explore sciences a little bit. I explored those options and found out that not only was I not good at science, but that was about as close to the moon as I was ever going to get. So I decided to abandon my dream of going to the moon. However, it did get me a little bit interested in other options of things that I could do with my life. I traveled around a little bit. I went to Austin, Texas, and if you're wondering, yes, it's the building from Batman. It's in Austin, Texas. I went there and explored around a little bit, and it was totally awesome. And I went to different landmarks around Texas as well. They have a house that looks like a spaceship. That was actually super cool. But in my traveling around a little bit, I still hadn't quite decided on what I wanted to do. I had started to develop a love for reading. It turned out from a hate reading and started to come into a love to reading. Now I have a vast collection of books and stuff, so I don't need to travel the world to find these strange landmarks and these strange places to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. I can explore a little bit throughout the universe from the comfort of my own bedroom reading a book. And so I actually came home. Home at the time was Medicine Hat. If any of you have ever been to Medicine Hat, they have a 75-foot tall teepee in Medicine Hat. And it was actually quite interesting because coming from Texas to Medicine Hat, they're actually very similar. They say that everything's bigger in Texas. Well, believe it or not, our teepee's bigger than any teepee in Texas. We have one of the biggest chairs I've ever seen in my life. Our Native Americans are so big, they take up entire landmarks, like entire plots of land. See the face there in the ground? That's a satellite photo of a plot of land near Medicine Hat. And so everything's bigger in Medicine Hat than it is in Texas. But no, I came home to Medicine Hat and went to college there for a little bit, trying to still decide on what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do something along the lines of reading and writing, finding a story, because I loved stories at this point. I loved reading. And so I took into an English major program. Then I came over here to Lethbridge, going to the university, trying to further my English career a little bit. I went to a linguistics program and found out that I was not really good at the structure of language. And so I decided, you know what, maybe I'll just take a grammar course or two and figure out how to write it instead. That didn't turn out all that great. I have some good skills in reading and writing, but I'm definitely not perfect. And so I decided maybe I can just find something else to do that has to do with reading and writing, but it's not the focus of my skills. And then I came here to Lethbridge College in the DCM program. So you know, basically point form different things that have happened in my life up till now. Once upon a time I was a cute baby who made faces. Now I view myself as a still cute man who makes faces at himself in the mirror still. However, I definitely feel that I have changed over the years. I've found different things that I like, different things that I don't like, and I've developed as a person. And I hope to continue to develop in the future as I still am looking for a goal in life. Thank you.